it's Linda with What's Linda Cooking. Today, I'm doing barbecued ribs. So all I'm doing is I've got our smoky barbecue rub, and we have all kinds of different rubs, and I love these. And they make a really good gift too, because, you know, if you don't, there are people who have everything, but, you know, to spice up your life and your food is a good thing. And I'm just going to, and I know a lot of people cut off the membrane and everything. I'm not going to do that. So we're just going to coat this really, really nicely. And I'm going to put it in here. And this is just a half a rack. Let me wash my hands. Just a half a rack. Now, earlier, let's get rid of this because it's yucca. That's a technical cooking term. And I do have an opener, but I don't know where it is right now. I need to get that out. So I'm going to use this. So in August, I made, you remember I have peach trees and my peaches were like very prolific. So I made some peach barbecue sauce, but I made it a little runny. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put some of it, and I always like to listen, especially when you're home canning, you want to make sure you hear that thing. And I did. And oh my gosh, the smell of this is just so good. I'm going to put about half of this in, just really on top. I'm going to turn this over, and I'm going to put a little more right on top. The rest of this, I'm going to thicken a little bit more because it's a little bit runny. So I'm going to put it on top of the stove while my potatoes are doing, while this is going. I will put it on the stove and thicken that up and then brush it at the end. And I've got my little scissors here in the way. There we go. So I got to put this on because I don't think it's on. This is my Deluxe multi-cooker. This is one of those things that I use constantly in my kitchen. And I'm going to put it on. It has a custom sear, egg, poultry, beef, pork. I'm going to put it on pork. And we're just going to let that go. There you go. And it goes on for about 30 minutes, and then my ribs are done. And then I'm going to put them in a Deluxe Air Fryer Oven to crisp up. But this also has seafood, white rice, whole grains, soup, beans, desserts, steam, slow cook, and sous vide. What sous vide is, you can put your food in there in a bag and get it to the perfect temperature, and it'll hold it there. And then you just take it out and you just quickly sear it. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So, and that's how restaurants do a lot of it. And it also has yogurt, and I'm going to make yogurt one of these days. And then sterile. In fact, I have some yogurt in my refrigerator because you need yogurt to make yogurt, or you need those, you know, whatever it is, the active cultures to make yogurt. So I could put it in here and make yogurt and never have to buy yogurt again, because yogurt is kind of expensive. So, and then also has sterilized features. So if you need to sterilize surgical equipment, nah, I'm kidding, like bottles and stuff like that, it'll do that. So this is going to run, and I love this because it's one of those things that I use constantly for, like, it's 4 o'clock right now. If I was going to do ribs right now, just regular, it would take me a few hours to do them. This is going to be 35 minutes once it comes up to pressure, and then it probably 5-10 minutes in the Deluxe Air Fryer Oven, and it will be done. I can do soups really quickly, even frozen food. I have thrown frozen chicken in here. Open up a jar of salsa, throw that in there and put it on. And I have a ceramic plate. I put that in there too with my rice, and it is done in a matter of a half an hour from a frozen brick. Because how many of us have forgotten to take out food? Put it in the comments. If you have forgotten to take out food from the freezer, and all of a sudden you're like, oh crap, here it is. And you can do it from frozen in here. So this is the Deluxe multi-cooker. My husband's just coming in with the potatoes. For those of you who live near me, Luzos has 50 pounds of potatoes for $15.79. That's about $1.30 for 5 pounds, and that is cheap. So if you can't use 50, then break it up amongst your family or your friends. you'll never get potatoes that cheap. So, and when they start sprouting in the spring, you can plant them for more potatoes. So, I figured I'd just talk while I'm doing the potatoes. You don't need to see me peeling potatoes, but I do love this potato peeler. It is a pivoting peeler. It just stays like this, or you can do it this way for this type of peeling. I don't like to peel that way. I actually like to peel this way. So I'm going to turn it to that. So saving money, I talked about, I got my potatoes. We have a restaurant supply place near us that has some, great deals on things like potatoes. And I like to get 50 pounds, even though this one has kind of seen better days. And that's kind of got me nervous. I might have to, hand these out if they are not good. But we usually go through potatoes really quickly in this house, like 50 pounds of potatoes. Well, when I had 4 of us, 50 pounds of potatoes, went pretty quick. But I can, now that I'm thinking about it and talking to you, I can, if they're starting to go, I can can them because I do know how to pressure can. And so I can pressure can the potatoes if I think they're going to start going. And that's what I think I'll do because they'll just stay on a pantry shelf. So anyways, buying things in bulk when I see a good deal, because I use potatoes a lot and I can send them, I can bring them up to my daughter's house. And my youngest daughter, I can say, hey, do you need potatoes? Take a few with you. And she can use them. So I'll give them out if, as I'm going along. But I bet 50 pounds of potatoes, Michael and I and my mother and my kids will probably have these done by February or March. And these will, hopefully will last most of them for a while. And like I said, if not, I am just going to can them. That's what I'm going to do because I can easily do that. And so, because that shouldn't be happening, this being soft like this. In fact, this one might be bad as I'm going through it. I think part of it is. So I'm going to cut that part away and just use only the good part. So buying things like that, when I see rice, I've gotten rice, not recently, but I have gotten rice before for like 20 pounds for $4. And I have just picked that up and put it in the freezer because critters, and I'm not talking about critters, I'm talking about eggs. In your flour, in your rice, in things like that, are in there. Just inherently, they're in there. And so when you put them in your freezer for, I'd say, I usually do it for 72 hours, and then take it out, let it come back up to temperature, and then put it in buckets. I usually put them in buckets. And then I take them up, and this is salt, but I'll take them up and I'll put them in containers, like my rice in a container up here, and I'll use it from this container, then go downstairs from my big bucket and fill it up again. So that's what I do. And this is what I do for my sea salt too. Let me get a knife here. Thank you. Let me rinse these. So that saves on my food bill because I'm buying things at the rock bottom price. When you're buying things at the rock bottom price, your food bill is lower just because you're getting everything at the rock bottom price. I have to go get a pan. And if anybody knows really good slide out shelving for existing cabinets, I would love to know which ones are really good, especially for pans, because I really want to get some shelving, like slide out shelves for some of my bottom cabinets, because, I am getting older and, I have knees that are, older knees that are probably need knee replacement at some time soon. So, that would be good. But anyways, get that stuff at the rock bottom price. The same thing with meats. If you have a freezer, even a smaller freezer, like a smaller chest freezer, they make them that are, they're like this, but they're not this high. But, they stand up, but they're only like this wide and deep. Those, you can store a lot of food in there. And if you're buying meats when they're on sale, that's a good thing because you're getting, again, at that rock bottom price. So like Thanksgiving is coming up, and normally your Stop and Shops and your Shaws will have turkeys, fresh turkeys, on sale after Thanksgiving for like 29 cents a pound. I've gotten them for. And so I come home, I have them quarter it if they will do it for me. Stop and Shop sometimes won't do it because it's already at a low price and the meat department just refuses. Shaw's is usually pretty good. They'll do it anyways. And they will cut it for me, and then I'll put it in the pieces, or I'll can it. If I can it, then I just cut it away from the bone and pressure can it. And no, I'm not a rebel canner. I do exactly how it's meant to be. So I'm going to fill this up. And we're going to put this on. And my stovetop is literally 30 some years old, and it is, and it has seen better days. So I'm going to put some sea salt in there, and we're going to go with that. Okay. Now, and then I'm going to do just some steamed broccoli, which I'm going to steam it. I love these. Just so you know. I'll show you what I do. These are my micro cookers, perfect little size. I'll put them in here, maybe with a little tiny bit of water. And steam them and a little bit of salt, and then I'll drain it, and then I'll put a pat of butter in it just to have some buttery goodness in that. So that's how I'm going to cook my my broccoli. But getting these at the rock bottom price, like broccoli was 99 cents a pound. So that's a good price. And so get it like that. You can blanch it and then throw it in the freezer, because even frozen broccoli is more, broccoli florets is more than 99 cents usually, because now the packages are not a pound, they are 12 ounces for the frozen. So by doing things like that, you bring your food bill way down. Okay, so this one, it's probably gonna, smells unbelievable, and it's probably gonna fall apart on me, because that's what ends up happening. Yep, it is gonna fall apart on me, but I've got my trusty tongs here. Ooh, maybe I'll get it. There we go. And I'm going to put it on my little sheet pan. Let me see what I have here. So I thickened this up, and you can see there's not much in here right now. And so it's a nice thick barbecue sauce now. This is what it should have been. And we're just going to put that in. And I'm going to put it on broil, and then flip it over and do the other side. Okay. My ribs are done, and I'm gonna just brush it with a little more, and I already brushed the other side with a little more, and so we're just going to put this on. And I love this barbecue sauce. It came out so good. It's just a peach barbecue sauce that I made. So there's that. I've got my broccoli, I've got my mashed potatoes. So let's serve this up. And my mashed potatoes got a little bit overdone. That's okay. So we've got that. I'm going to take some broccoli, put that on my plate. And then, we kind of have like a few ribs per person. This is going to be my husband's. That's going to be 3 ribs. And there it is. This is barbecue pork ribs with some steamed broccoli and mashed potatoes. That's what we're having. Great economical meal, because this was only $1.99 a pound, and the potatoes were $1.30 something for 5 pounds. And then the broccoli was 99 cents a pound. So very economical. That's what we're having for dinner tonight. What are you having? I'd love to hear. This is Linda. Hey, if you like this type of content, please like, subscribe, comment. That always helps us. And it helps me make more videos and that sort of thing. But have a great day. This is Linda. Bye for now.